This week on the Fickle Fan Podcast, we're going to talk about some of the biggest controversies going on now. Who's got the best wrestling in the world? And has Seth Rollins really lost his mind? We'll talk about the fallout from Stomping Grounds, Raw and SmackDown, and we'll see if we can locate Duke finally. This and much, much more coming up next.
Fickle! They cheer him 1 minute, they don't care the next. Fickle!
I was proven right about these fans being fickle.
Hey yo, it's JM and Yeeski. We watch wrestling weekly. I style it stone cold like Steve B. Believe me. I said believe me, keep it so breezy. We make another shows uneasy when we come around. When we step behind the mic, awesome reactions with the fans every night. Like the man when she graces the ring. JM Yeeski, Fickle Fan Podcast. Nah, I mean
Fickle! 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 Fickle!
Welcome to the 13th edition of the Fickle Fan Podcast. You have Yeeski here.
JM in the building.
Well, hey, JM. So this week, last week, Duke went missing. But I think that we've been able over the last week to locate Duke, and it turns out he's over in the Far East, and I think we got him on the line.
Oh,
hey, Duke.
what?
Duke, are you there?
Konnichiwa, konbanwa, moshi, watashi oreda go meinas. I think I just said I'm gonna kill you in Japanese. So, sumimasen.
What's up, man? Man, you all the way over there?
Yeah, man. Look, Seth Rollins is causing chaos. I think we're going to talk about it a little bit later, but he started a war with New Japan, so now Vince sent me to basically be the cleanup crew.
Oh, interesting.
Are you also passing out free tickets to the shows this week?
No. I pay people for that. That's little man work.
You got a crew.
I got a crew. See, Vince let me drive. He let me drive his private jet. Like, I didn't have a pilot. He let me drive.
Oh, you flew the jet over there.
Yeah. We almost didn't make it. It was a lot of turbulence and a lot of botches, but it was still fun for me and my teammates.
Hey man, be careful with that plane, man. Make sure you had a smooth landing. You might have to change a couple parts on there, some wheels or whatnot. Probably that landing wasn't smooth.
It really wasn't. But look, I recently let Bray Wyatt in, so I whatever happens.
That can mess with you, that can do.
Yeah. But it's good to be back, guys. Thank you for having me back. I enjoyed the podcast last weekend. Everything was great. Excuse me. Sorry, she did not understand what I said. She's trying to touch my hair because I'm black. But you guys did great. I enjoyed that podcast. It was probably just one of my favorites.
Cool, man.
Now, so what? So I know you're working for Vince. What exactly are you doing over there?
So,
are you looking for?
Well, we're trying to steal as many New Japan talent as we can before they have the G1 climax. And because of this, Seth Rollins found it very, how can I put it in a nice way? He found this as an opportunity to take shots at New Japan, which is making my job harder. I never got along with that guy.
We call that poaching. Yeah, y'all trying to poach some talent over there?
Exactly.
Well, I guess poaching is the thing now. I mean, AEW and WWE are the two biggest poachers of everything.
Yes.
So, let's take a look at the big news of this week. And it seems that after Stomping Grounds, I think either yesterday, maybe this morning, Seth Rollins, as you've alluded to, has caused quite a bit of controversy. He's kind of come out defending the WWE. I think he's been communicating with Will Ospreay from New Japan, basically telling him that the WWE is the best wrestling in the world, and he's the best wrestler in the world on top of that. And he actually opens about, I think, even Dean Ambrose, his buddy Dean Ambrose, which I think is pretty interesting. So what is your take on Seth Rollins speaking out against all this negativity? Because basically WWE's been swallowed up by this negative cloud from AEW, from the internet fans. What do you think about Seth speaking out?
Personally, man, I mean, I think it's the nature of the business. I don't really know what to think about it, man. It's almost like, especially like in this climate of WWE that they're in right now, not really doing too well since WrestleMania, and yet they're making these comments like, you know, this is where the best wrestling is. I'm the best wrestler in the world. You kind of want to make those comments when the ship is right, when the ship is being steered in the right direction. And it seems like the ship has gone awry since WrestleMania. So I don't know if that holds weight at this time. We all know that WWE is the, the leader in pro wrestling as far as like, the name recognition and advertising and all that stuff. But if you're going to make that claim for wrestling in the ring, then you got to make sure that that is top notch at this moment. And right now is not. So I don't know if that comment holds any weight at this time.
Now let me reiterate. I'm going to repeat some of his comments that he made on the Sports Illustrated Media podcast. So this is Seth Rollins speaking. I didn't think you guys have heard or read some of his comments. So listen to it as I read it, and then I want your take on it. So Seth Rollins says that you can only sit back and read people bashing something you love for so long and sit there and take it and try to take the high road, so to speak. He says, I'm real proud of what I do every single week, not just Mondays, but every single Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Really, I'm really proud of what I do and what our crew does and the effort they put in. And I'm not just talking about the wrestlers, the guys and the girls who you see out in the ring. I'm talking about everybody, from creative all the way up to Vince McMahon. We put a ton of effort into making a product that I think it is pretty darn good considering the amount of content we put out there. The fact that people want to sit in their little soapboxes and their little stupid social media machines and talk down about it really speaks volume about the generation and where we're at. So I figured if somebody is going to fight back, it may as well be me, since I'm the champ and I consider myself the top guy in our company.
Making my job hard day by day.
Yeah, you're gonna have an issue over there, man.
Man, like I really respect, Seth Rollins taking that initiative. He's on a high right now. He's the company guy. He's taking that initiative. He's trying to be the next Cena. He's trying to step up and just, be what the company needs him to be. But I guess where we drew the line at was where he insulted Will Ospreay. Now, Will Ospreay is a grown man. I'm pretty sure he could take it, it's not about the comment being mean or anything, but it was just about, like, if I felt like it just came off as awkward, because it's like WWE as a company tries its best to act like no other wrestling company exists. And that goes for AEW. So when Seth Rollins insults Will Ospreay by saying, like, look, man, we got a better version of you, alluding to Ricochet, it's like, is the company really behind you right now when you say that, or are you just stirring the pot? And I don't know, man. Like, it was cool. It was real cool that he took shots finally on behalf of WWE, because somebody had to. But at the same time, it was like, did we have to do Will Ospreay like that?
I think Will Ospreay, Seth Rollins put out the thing that he was the best wrestler alive. And then I think Will Ospreay interjected himself into the conversation. So
right.
He wasn't really singling out Will Ospreay. But
yeah, I guess Will Ospreay did it to himself then.
Listen, hats off to Seth for backing up his company. That's what you should do. So I respect that. But also on the other end, all I gotta say is WWE, how about you show that in your weekly shows? That's all I gotta say. That's how you prove that, and you back up what you just said. You can be proud of it all day long, but it don't mean that the product is good right now. He can't be naive and think that the product is as good as it can be put out every Monday and Tuesday. If you're talking about NXT, I agree with you, but he's got to be naive to think that the product that they're putting out, he's actually proud of that. Okay, we're not backstage. We don't know all the hard work that goes on. It really goes on to putting on the show. He's right. All the content they put out every week, the house shows that they do, like he said, pretty much 7 days a week. He's talking about the stuff that they do, moving from this place to this place, house show here and there, all the promos that they got to do, and advertising, and you know, different meetups and meet and greets and all this stuff that they got to do. Absolutely. Nobody does it like WWE. What we're talking about here is in-ring product and week-to-week shows. That's what I'm talking about. Raw, SmackDown, and in-ring product. Are we really proud of that right now? Forget all the rest of that stuff. You're right, Seth. We get it. Forget all the rest of that stuff right now. The shows is what I'm talking about.
The only thing I'll say is that I give big props for Seth because, you know, everything in the media is negative about WWE. All you hear about is all these unknown, unnamed superstars who all want to leave. And they send their little cryptic tweets about leaving, etc., etc. Seth at least is man enough to defend the product. I mean, there are got to be more superstars who are actually happy with their gigs, but none of them have the courage to speak up because then everyone's going to jump on them. So big props for Seth being able to stand up to it and to take whatever criticism he's going to get, because you know he's going to get a lot of criticism that he's blind, he can't see what's going on, he's lost his mind, or he's just being paid like Duke over there to talk positively.
Yeah. Look, I'm just saying, you guys say that I'm being paid. It's not that I'm being paid. It's just that I'm accepting bribery.
So you getting paid more than Seth, man? Or are your bribes more than what Seth is getting paid?
I'm not saying that, you know, I'm making millions, but I'm not saying that I own $1 million bill either. So it's all speculation.
Okay.
But I can assure you, Duke is just like Seth. He's got more zeros on his bank account than Will Ospreay. That's for sure.
This is true, you know, and I have more Ryu, the Japanese currency. I think it's called. I am pretty sure I just said the wrong currency.
You did.
So yeah.
Yen.
It's
yen. Yeah. That's what I said in the first place. Gosh.
You know. I sometimes I'm thinking I don't think you're in Japan anymore.
I mean, look. This is how you know I'm in Japan. Moshi. You see how that was clearly a Japanese accent from afar? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Don't doubt me, Yiski.
Tell her I said what's up.
Was that Asuka or Io Shirai?
Oh yeah, that was actually Kairi Sane.
Kairi Sane. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to get her to hook me up with Hiromu. I was about to say a guy wrestler. Hana Kimura, you know, she's my favorite female Japanese wrestler, and I barely watched a match from her. So
she got skills, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're not through with Rollins yet. Now, Rollins actually goes on further to address the comments made by his good friend Dean Ambrose. So listen to what he says now. He says, Ambrose can do what he wants. He's a big boy. He's got his big boy pants on. He can go out there and say whatever he wants. But the bottom line is not everyone is equipped to handle the rigors of the WWE and the schedule and how it affects you mentally and emotionally. Ambrose gave everything he had to the company for the entire time he was there. He put his heart and soul into the travel and the schedule and the injuries and the work in the ring and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, he took his ball and he went home, or he went somewhere else at least. I think it's a little presumptuous of him to get on a podcast and talk down about the company that gave him such opportunities. And he referenced some of those. He did talk about how he was thankful for the time he spent here and the fact that he was able to learn, meet his wife, and all the good stuff. Like I said, I love the guy. I love him. I'll always love him. But at the end of the day, we share differing perspectives about what we want out of life and where we're at in our own lives. I hope he does well. I've kept enough tabs on him to know he's doing super well for himself right now, and I'm happy for that. But I don't think there's any reason to hop on a soapbox and complain after the fact. You need to take the first step, and that's looking in the mirror and asking yourself, did you do every single thing you possibly could to make yourself and your situation what you want it to be? If the answer is yes, you did, then you can go somewhere else and complain. And if you feel good about it, if that's where he's at mentally, then go right ahead. But if he hasn't done that and looked in the mirror and made that decision, maybe he should think about that and go for any other disgruntled talent, past or present.
Whoa.
Sorry about that.
Oh man, like he can't. I mean, like I think he doing my job better than me.
See,
like,
you gotta apologize to Seth.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Seth. You did my job for me. I don't need to be here as cleanup man. You're being a company man better than I could. But no, I really respect what Seth is saying. You know, like somebody has to say it. It's one thing to, you know, be upset with your job. Like I had a job do me dirty, but I don't go around speaking bad and trying to deter people away from buying the services of their job. But from I can see both sides. I see why John Moxley felt the need to go on Chris Jericho's podcast and just spit his truth, and I see why Seth Rollins is trying to like play cleanup in his role, because it's like he's enjoying his time in the WWE. He didn't lose that love for the WWE like John Moxley did. So people are taking John Moxley's word for it as if like that's the end all be all, but really it's two sides to a coin with the WWE.
Yeah, I do respect what he's saying, and like I said, you have to when you're in that position that he is, you have to defend your peoples, man. John Moxley threw a lot of darts, and he did, you know, big them up for the time he was there, and I do respect him for that. My whole thing is there's a difference between where Seth Rollins is, and since he's been there on the main roster, and where Dean Ambrose was. When they were on the Shield, it was kind of even playing, but we all know that Seth has been the up there top guy since he's been there. So he can say that and all that stuff he just said about not complaining and all that, doing the bit. Have you done everything you want to do? But hearing Mox's side of that as the stuff that they asked him to do, did they ask Seth Rollins to do that stuff? No. And all that stuff that he was talking about that was just crazy, hideous type storyline stuff, did they ask just Seth Rollins to do that? No. Seth Rollins has always been in the Universal title picture. He's always been up there, upper mid-card or top guy status. So when you're in that situation and you're always going to be catapulted to that spot, as hard as he is as a worker, and we all know how hard he works. I mean, the dude went, an hour in a match? Like, come on, man, who does that? So he got the skills, but you looking at it from the greener pastures, my brother. So you can't talk about, Dean Ambrose saying stuff about the company when you not in that position, is all I got to say. So you got to look at it from his perspective, too.
Did we lose Jam?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought it just went that.
You watching this early in the podcast?
No, we all here.
So I blame. The real problem is probably Renee Young, because sometimes when a husband and wife they work together, it just creates a workable environment. So someone had to go, and Renee's like, "You go, I stay." So, just one quick question. So, this topic was brought up because, Seth brought up that WWE's got the best wrestling in the world. So, quick answer. Who has got the best wrestling in the world
New Japan.
now? Which promotion?
New Japan.
See, I'm not saying it because I am in Japan, but New Japan Pro Wrestle has the best wrestling in the world today.
I will say I don't watch enough New Japan to agree. I will say WWE's got the best talent, but I do not know who's got the best wrestling right now.
Best talent, I agree, WWE, but best wrestling is New Japan.
All right, those are our big topics for the week. We're going to have a little plug, and then we'll be right back in 30 seconds.
Brush off the shoulders. We only doing big things, just like I told you. We win it over and over. Put your hands up, wave around, get the concrete beat, don't fail me now. Won't stand up, shout it out. I'm about to show the world.
Tonight only, buy one get one free on all t-shirts with your favorite missing superstars, featuring the Kabuki Warriors and the Iconics. Tonight only.
Welcome back. Now we're going to go into the next part. We're going to focus in about WWE because we had 3 shows, Stomping Grounds, Raw, and SmackDown. I guess a lot of controversy regarding Stomping Grounds, regarding how empty the arena was. Some people are reporting there was a paid attendance of 4,500 people in an 18,000 seat arena. And then some people, right now, both in Stomping Ground and on Raw, the Becky and Seth relationship has been pushed to the forefront of everything, even setting up a tag match for Extreme Rules. And then also we have the, I guess, surprise, but I'm not sure if it's a welcome return of the 50-plus-year-old Undertaker. So those are just the big areas. What you got to say about WWE in these 3 shows?
Okay, I'm not gonna say anything about the whole Becky Seth Rollins match situation at Stomping Grounds because that's part of my rant. So I will address that later in the show. But as far as the empty seats go, that is something that was to be expected because this was kind of one of those pay-per-views where he was like, okay, what am I going to expect here? After AEW knocked it out the park with Double or Nothing, then you come up with this pay-per-view, you had Money in the Bank, you got this, and people are like, what is Stomping Grounds? It's one, it's the Great Balls of Fire of this year. So I expected that. And I mean, what else would you expect? Well, the card looked pretty good, but it's just like, what exactly are we doing here? What is this setting up, for the future? I already think it's too much Seth and Becky as far as just in the storyline, what we've seen over the weekend and stuff like that. They need to pull back on that. And Undertaker, man, I'll tell you this. I was playing Hill Climb Racing 2 on my phone. And I'm playing, and I had Raw on my work phone. Both, I had the headphones in my ear, so I'm listening to it, and Shane about to go for the coast to coast. Then when I heard the gong, it did startle me, and I'm like, oh man, what? Undertaker? So I looked, and then as soon as he appeared, I said, man, he look old. That boy looks super old. He looked like a geriatric out there. And so, was it a surprise? Yes, because are you really expecting Undertaker to show up on Raw like this? No, because it wasn't like it was a hint, nothing. So it was a genuine surprise, and I was happy for that. But I don't know if Undertaker showing up is an actual surprise anymore. Like, do we really want to see Undertaker? Pure wrestling fans, yes, we are it. But it's like, we need the newer talent. Where's EC3? Where's these people who you just brought up? Enough with The Undertaker. Enough with the John Cena. Enough with, Stone Cold and The Rock and all these people, man. Look, since Stone Cold, my favorite wrestler of all time, but I do not want to see him show up in the WWE ring anymore. Enough with Goldberg. Enough with Hulk Hogan. Please, like, you got all this young talent, man. It's like, this is how you build your newer stars. You know what I mean? Undertaker show up. It's like, okay, all right, that's cool. And you build this tag team match for, what's that, Extreme Rules? That's going to be him and Roman Reigns and Shane and who? Who's Shane's partner?
Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre. And it's like, okay, so what you going to get from this match? For what?
You're going to see how hard of a good worker Roman Reigns is.
And I applaud that. And I can't wait to see that. But it's like, I'm trying to see Undertaker in a match. I'm just not. And I'm glad he in a tag match. We ain't got to see him one-on-one anymore. So, I mean, if you hate the comments, it don't matter to me. I'm tired of I'm just tired of the old school wrestlers showing up, man. They need to move past that. But that's what I got to say about that stuff.
No, here's a quick question. Are you more tired of The Undertaker showing up, Shane McMahon, or the Becky and stuff there? Or Corbin in the main event of all pay-per-views. I know he's your favorite wrestler, WWE wrestler. I know you guys both Duke and GM, you're very high in Corbin, but as the ratings show, I don't think the rest of the world is as high as him as he is. I'll tell
you this.
Ospreay took a shot at him. I mean, because I think
I saw that.
Corbin said he's been wrestling more matches this year than Will Ospreay, and it's like no wonder Raw stinks.
That was a good comeback.
Hats off to you, Will Ospreay. I'm glad you shot that back.
Should have did that to Seth.
Yeah. I think I'm more tired of Shane. When Shane came back, everybody popped, and you were there, Yeeski, right? Yeah. You heard the pop that happened, and they never stopped for minutes on minutes on minutes, and I was watching that live. And to see what has transpired from that time till today, it's just been too much Shane. Too much Shane, man. He was a novelty before. I'm tired of him now. Every Raw, every SmackDown, pay-per-views. It's like, dude, he used to wrestle what? How many pay-per-views? He might have been in maybe a couple of them. 1, 2 for the year. Then he did mostly backstage stuff or GMing and all that stuff. I didn't mind him as a SmackDown GM. He could have just kept doing that. But man, being in wrestling matches and these high profile matches with these dudes, it's like, come on, man. Who are you trying to put over? These cats already are over. Who exactly are you trying to put over? That's what the purpose of somebody like that as a novelty is to put somebody over. You don't need to do that, so we don't need to see him.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, when we think about all the talent we got Shinsuke Nakamura, we got EC3, we got Cedric Alexander in the losers locker room right now. Blake Murphy, I don't know what happened to him. He disappeared. Maybe he's back down under in Australia waiting for them to do another show down there. Like, you got all these amazing new talent, and Drew McIntyre could be the next big heel.
Exactly.
He could be the second coming of Baron Corbin. But you got Drew McIntyre getting beat up by this old man, and don't get me wrong, it was a hype moment for Raw, and I'm pretty sure it's going to boost ratings for next week.
Yep.
It wasn't a bad move per se, but it's like you're relying on your laurels instead of building towards the future.
Yep.
So basically, we can all agree another downward trend for the WWE this week from all the shows.
I wouldn't say so. I just would say they took 2 steps. If last week was a good step forward, they took 1 step back. So they're still in neutral grounds.
Okay.
If you ask me.
I agree.
I mean, Stomping Grounds wasn't that bad of a show. I mean, the middle of the show was actually probably the best of it. It's probably the 2 main events that was probably the worst.
Yeah, I mean the Joe and Ricochet, and I mean the card had some great matches on it, and it wasn't that bad. I tell you, it wasn't that bad. But
on a quick side note, I was watching Raw at my mom's house in Japan. Keep trying to keep kayfabe alive. And the thing that she popped for the most part was the 24/7 title. She loved that. And it just goes to show that, like, if your lowest card belt is the hypest part about your show, then what is that saying about your product? And she also was slandering Roman Reigns, which I didn't appreciate. But she saw Roman Reigns once for the first time, and she was like, I don't like this guy. He's not cool. And it's like, she basically buried WWE, and it's like, I work here, Mom. Dang, leave me alone.
Mama Duke.
Yeah, Mama Duke wasn't playing games.
Well, it looked like she following suit with all the rest of the Roman downers.
She a fickle fan without even being a fan.
Oh man, listen, the 24/7 championship is the hottest part. That's what everybody is looking forward to when they watch Raw and SmackDown, because it's just a surprise factor. You don't know what's about to happen. You don't know who they're going to put the belt on. You don't know what R-Truth is going to do. You don't know what Drake Maverick's going to do. I mean, you don't know what type of clips they're going to show from earlier. If they was in a gas station stall and got rolled up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so fun and unpredictable, which is how the rest of the show should be. And so it's just crazy how this gimmick that they decided to put in has taken a mind of its own and really has taken over these two shows, that and the Firefly Funhouse. How is it that something that was a gimmick belt and a backstage segment has taken over your live show of wrestling and storylines, was supposed to be the meat of your show? How does that happen?
I don't even know. It just goes to show that people want to support WWE, but WWE just has to step it up. WWE just has to be cool again. Jay, you put me on the Busted Open podcast, and I've been listening to it a lot. Like Mark Henry and Bully Ray, they're great insights into wrestling from a wrestler's point of view. And Bully Ray last week was talking about how WWE just does not have that cool factor. And it's like, how does WWE get it back? Because the 24/7 title, even though it's over right now, it's not going to get you that cool factor back. And I think that for the most part, Raw and SmackDown has been building back up to getting that cool factor back. For example, the good things that I think we almost made a botched mistake of glossing over, but we just got a dream match, a dream New Japan match. We got AJ Styles versus Ricochet.
Yep.
And Stomping Grounds, we had Ricochet versus Samoa Joe, which was like match of the week.
Yep.
So, and then they're setting up for Samoa Joe versus Kofi Kingston. So it's WWE is starting to build. And we got Finn Balor versus Shinsuke Nakamura coming up soon.
Yep.
So WWE is trying to get its core factor back, but at the end of the day, WWE is just not the core thing to watch.
Yeah, I think they're hurting from. They're missing. I have to say it. I guess they really miss Ronda, because Ronda brought this special it factor in it that these 50-year-old superstars can't replicate. So I don't know what they're gonna do. I mean, maybe they'll get a bump if Sasha ever comes back. If they ever kick off the 4 Horsewomen MMA versus the whatever's left of the 4 Horsemen NXT girls. I mean, something like that would probably be able to jumpstart some interest from the fans, at least from the internet fans. But what's really unpredictable is I can't tell you what the SummerSlam card's going to look like. I have no clue. Not a clue in the world, because we know Corbin can't be in it. Lacey can't be wrestling again against Becky.
Nope.
I mean, maybe they're going to throw Charlotte in there because Charlotte just shows up and congratulates Ricochet for no apparent reason.
That made me so upset. Like, I was at Yiski's house in Japan when watching Stomping Grounds. Yiski, did you see how upset I was when I saw Charlotte, who, to my knowledge, has no prior knowledge of who Ricochet is, just kind of shaking his hand and congratulated him.
And then I'm also still confused from Stomping Grounds, because it was like AJ was like, and the Good Brothers, you know, they're acting like tough, and then was it where the Good Brothers have to try to impress AJ on Raw?
They've been trying to do that for the last couple of weeks, and it's probably going to culminate into them being a faction. But I don't know how they're going to get to that point, because it's kind of like they're separating themselves because they're not, you know, really pleasing AJ Styles with their work in the ring. They keep losing. So how they going to get to that point, I don't know. That is one thing that's interesting me right now, is that because I'm a sucker for factions. And so to me, we just talked about the cool factor for WWE. They have the answer already. Think about when WWE had the cool factor. Factions were involved. I mean, go down the history of WWE when a lot of epic moments happen. A lot of them, a good portion of them happened when factions were a thing. I don't understand why they're so down on factions, why they don't want them to exist. It's like they'll link them up and then nothing. Then they'll link them up and then nothing. It's like you need a long run of a couple of factions beefing, because what that does is that makes people take sides. And when you start taking sides, then that's when people start watching. And that's what you want. I don't understand what their issue was with factions. So maybe this will lead to them being a faction. Maybe we can get another one. Like you mentioned, the 4 horsewomen, NXT, 4 horsewomen of the MMA, that whole thing. That's how you get that stuff back.
Well,
All right.
And my problem is, I thought Shane was trying to form a little faction.
Yeah.
But then Revival disappeared this week, so.
Right. He could have did that, because I said that I liked that combination of them a couple weeks ago when they was backstage and doing all that. They seemed to me like a legitimate threat because of Shane and his pull, and the top guys because of what they do in the ring. And then you got Drew there as the enforcer, and it was like, that looked natural to me. The way they were reacting, their chemistry together, that could have been a faction. But yet, we don't get nothing. So, go figure.
Who knows? I mean, and then you're burying the Good Brothers while trying to form a faction doesn't also make a lot of sense.
Right. How you going to take them seriously if they keep losing?
So, I guess in all, a so-so week for WWE, just like its stock. Unfortunately, that's the stock that I own the most of. So,
oh boy, oh man, hey, you think you could do something about that Duke over there in Japan, man? Get some people to buy some WWE stock.
I wish I could help, but the way my stock exchange is set up, I gotta checking in the savings, and the check is not free until the Monday, so not really.
I just told him to send it straight to PayPal, so yeah.
Sorry about that. We bots and I'm getting messages.
Oh, well, that'll wrap up our discussion for WWE this week. We'll be back in a moment with another new segment that we have planned. This week, we have a new segment called Recommended Viewing. So this week, we recommend everyone to catch WWE 365 featuring Alexa Bliss.
Day 71. Alexa had the opportunity to climb her way back into the championship picture by competing in her first ever Money in the Bank ladder match.
A lot of climbing to be done and a lot of history to be made.
I thought it would be great if I'd let everyone else beat each other up. and then come in at the end and capitalize on it.
Alexa Bliss is Miss Money in the Bank.
Very surprised. I won Money in the Bank, and I am so excited because I am the second woman to ever win Money in the Bank.
I have some unfinished business to take care of, so kind of have a little idea of my own.
I'm ready for the Ronda.
Oh my God! Twisted Bliss! Alexa Bliss is champion!
What a night for Alexa Bliss. Right back on the throne where the goddess belongs.
Gonna cannonball and let the night come crawling near the dark side, call it.
Rant of the week. You dig?
Yo, this is your boy JM, Fickle Fan Podcast, and this is your weekly rant for this week of the world of wrestling, in particular for WWE yet again. And I don't want to come off like I'm hating on these cats, but I mean, I got something that is a bug straight up my back, if you know what I mean. And what it is the main event of Stomping Grounds that happened on Sunday. And here's my problem. My problem is that they built this mystery referee business up so much and made it seem like it was such going to be a big thing. They didn't announce it beforehand, and this is what you're supposed to do when you have a surprise coming. So they built this thing up for the week, had Seth Rollins attacking all these people, right? We don't know who the guest referee is. I'm saying, listen, if they're going to do this and it's going to be supposed to be a surprise, come Sunday, it better be somebody big and it better make sense. Well, you can almost say it does make sense because this person has an ongoing beef with Becky Lynch. But I'm going to tell you right now, the sales came out. I mean, the wind came out of the sales when Lacey Evans came out. And I'm like, are you kidding me? This is your special guest referee? I get it. You want her to not be fair and, to Seth because Seth is with Becky and all this. So now we got a real life soap opera drama, less wrestling, more soap opera going on. All because of, and you telling me this main event was set up particularly to set up a mixed tag match at Extreme Rules? This is where you going? Really? A mixed tag match with these two? Baron and Lacey ain't have nothing to do with each other until this whole thing happened. So this is what we got to look forward to. We got to look forward to the man with the women's championship, Seth Rollins with the Universal Championship, tied up in a useless mixed tag match that's not going anywhere at Extreme Rules. Sure, they might even make it an Extreme Rules match. Who cares? I personally am not a fan of mixed tag matches. I can tell you that right now. I'm just not a fan. I don't really see what the hoopla or what the fun is for them, but that's just my opinion. If you like mixed tag matches, that's up to you, and you can have that opinion. But as far as I go, I'm not a fan of mixed tag matches, especially when they do all this to set this tag match up as if it's something big. I would have rather it been Edge and Beth Phoenix and the man and Seth Rollins. Then you might have me. This right here makes no sense. And I thought it was going to be somebody really big, that it was going to be something very important. And I'm just like, okay, here we go again with Lacey and Becky Lynch. And now, okay, it's supposed to be something special because they add Baron and Seth Rollins. And I just think that it's just such... I don't like it, man. I really don't like it. So I don't really know what to think right now or what it is or what I should be thinking right now. All I know is my first reaction is like, this is garbage. You know what I mean? And I'm going to steal that term from my boy Duke, and he going to have a segment about something else. But for this, I just don't agree with this at all as being some big setup for a mixed tag match that's coming up in another month, and I hope that this does not main event. But listen, why would it not? You got the Universal Champion and the women's SmackDown, women's Raw Champion in the same match. So why wouldn't it main event? And I'm gonna be upset about that if that happened. You got a mixed tag match that's gonna main event? Come on, bro. Like that I mean, that's what we looking for, right? Your Universal Champion is in a mixed tag match. I mean, man, they could have thought of something else, man. It could have been a million more things to how this could have worked out. And it just fell flat, man. I'm sick of this crap, man. I really am. I really am sick of this. They build you up to something so big, and then it turned out to be a piece of garbage. That's really what it turned out to be. It turned out to be Oscar's Abode, Sesame Street. You understand? That's what this turned out to be. I feel like I'm walking down Sesame Street and I see Oscar the Grouch in the shiny old school trash can joint. And then I see him come out, but instead of seeing Oscar come out, I seen Seth Rollins and Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans and Becky Lynch come out that Joker. You know what I mean? That's what I feel like. That's what I feel like. I feel like I'm looking at the daily or weekly garbage people come up and pick up the trash cans from the side of the street, and it's the match inside of it from Extreme Rules. That's what I feel like right now. I feel like I'm about to watch a bunch of garbage. You understand? Please understand this, your Universal Champion and your Raw Women's Champion in the same exact match with two other people that people don't really give a crap about right now. Understand that. That's what this is. And that's what I'm feeling right now. So again, this your boy, JM, Fickle Fan Podcast. I'm not happy about this mixed tag match for Extreme Rules. And if you don't like it, you can deal with it. Peace.
Welcome back. This week, we're going to start a new, what I call Just for Kicks. We're going to play a little game. We're going to pit JM versus Duke. And we're going to play a game of hot potato. Do you guys know how to play hot potato?
Does this have anything to do with Shane McMahon's dad?
No.
Yes, I'm a little familiar with hot potato, but give us a little summary.
Basically, so let's say who was in a WrestleMania match last year? Or actually, we'll say this year. Who was in a WrestleMania match? So JM will name a person. So let's say JM says Charlotte. Duke says Becky. JM says who did I say? Ronda.
Mm-hmm.
And then Duke says Asuka. But I don't think Asuka had a WrestleMania match. Or I don't know if
right.
You know, basically just the game is you keep going back and forth. You can't duplicate the answer, and you can't say a wrong answer.
Okay.
And we're gonna see who's the one who's left at the end is gonna be the winner.
Okay.
All right.
Can we get a title for this? You know, I fight for gold, like Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens.
See if you can get your hands on that New Japan belt.
Oh man. They tear those belts up. I don't even want them. The straps be ready to come off. Like, I see you, Naito, out there destroying belts.
Yeah, we can get a title for it.
Okay. So we'll come up with a title because I think we're gonna change games every week. But this week we're gonna play hot potato.
Okay.
And the subject is Money in the Bank winners.
Oh boy.
Oh my
People
goodness.
who have won the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Oh.
So it could be in the Money Bank pay-per-view, it could be at WrestleMania, different shows. So I don't have a coin to toss. So let's go with Duke. You get to start first. And I'll be
Edge.
Edge.
Oops,
Very
sorry.
good. Edge it is. JM?
Carmella.
Okay. Duke?
Alexa Bliss.
JM?
Ziggs.
Duke?
Oh man. Barry Corbin.
JM?
Oh,
there are a lot of names on this list.
The Monster Among Men. I can't. Dang, I can't even remember his name.
Braun Strowman?
Yeah, Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman.
5. Oh, dude, he made it back in the ring. I forgot my guy, Barry Corbin.
Oh.
Did I say that?
You said
I said Barry Corbin.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Seth Rollins.
All right, Seth Rollins. We'll give you a break in that one because we had to help JM out on Braun's name.
Yeah.
All right, JM.
Oh man, Bailey.
All right, Dean Ambrose.
JM. Oh boy. There's a lot of names on here. Very famous names. Even the last Money in the Bank winner.
Oh man.
Who's got the belt? Who's got the briefcase right now?
The ref is cheating like Lacey Evans.
Brock Lesnar.
All right, Duke.
John Cena, I think he got one, right?
Yep, John Cena got it. Yep.
Oh boy. Oh man. Mysterio. Oh.
So this round will go to Duke. This week it goes to Duke. So let me read the remaining people that were missed that we haven't talked about. RVD.
Yeah.
Mr.
What?
Kennedy.
I didn't know.
Yeah, RVD did.
I would have never thought of those two.
No, Mr. Kennedy, I didn't know. RVD, I did. Yeah.
You got the best in the world, CM Punk.
Oh yeah.
And the fun fact is, I guess during Raw tonight or Raw yesterday, they had like a segment where they interview fans and ask them trivia questions.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked the kid, I don't know if he's a kid or a teenager, who the best in the world was, and the kid gave the correct answer, CM Punk. So he said that to the live audience. So you also have the All-American Jack Swagger.
He did?
Yep, him.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Big Red
That
Machine.
lackluster run.
Kane. Yes.
Kane. You got The Miz.
That was my next pick. If Jay didn't get his answer, that was gonna be my next guy.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan.
Oh yeah, yep. Because he got it on Big Show.
Alberto Del Rio.
Forgot about him.
Oh yeah.
Alberto Del Rio. Yep.
The human stunt double, Damian Sandow.
He was a Money in the Bank winner?
Yeah,
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Then you got the Legend Killer.
Oh
yeah, of course, Randy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And any guesses on the very last name?
How far are you going back?
Not very far. Money Bank's not that old, so these names. He's still an active. Well, he is an active wrestler, but he's missing right now. But I'm sure he's
not Big Show.
He's still working out in Ireland, maybe.
Oh, Sheamus.
Sheamus.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Yes, I remember the Sheamus.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Yeeski, seeing as I was able to pull up a roll-up victory, can you hit my music, which is Miz theme song? I can't away.
We'll have Jim add that in the post-production.
Yes, I will. I will hit your music. Yes.
So, well, that'll wrap up our Just for Kicks segment this week. Next week, we'll come back with a different game, and we'll see if JM can get his due back on Duke.
I am 0-1. Got to get my revenge.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going for the roll-up victories. Like 0-2, Cena, when that was the only thing that he knew how to do was roll-ups.
So I actually just thought of a gimmick. I want you guys to pick your favorite wrestlers. Just right now, pick your favorite wrestlers, and you'll find out next week what the game is going to be. So pick me your favorite wrestler. So I want you to know everything about that wrestler.
Oh man, for me, Velveteen Dream, but I know nothing about his personal life.
You talking about currently?
No.
Currently?
Yeah, but I don't need to know. I don't need to know his personal life, just his wrestling life.
Okay.
You want to pick Velveteen Dream?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You going currently?
Currently. Let's go currently.
We already know who he's going to pick.
Yeah, I gotta go Sasha, man.
Okay. Well, we'll come back next week to see what I ring up with these. What game I ring up with Velveteen Dream versus Sasha Banks.
Oh boy, I'm gonna have to do a little research. A lot of it familiar, but we'll see how familiar I am with the ghost
all you
of
really
Sasha
need to
Banks.
know is that yeah, she's out there living the best CM Punk life she can. She don't care about us fans.
No, watching the sunrise and the sunset.
But there's one big difference. People don't chant for Sasha Banks.
No, not since 2015.
Man.
They still chant for CM Punk. Every opportunity. So we'll be back next week with a new segment for Just for Kicks.
This is garbage.
Bro, get him out of there. Oh, Sammy's in there. Get him out of there. Don't let him do this. Sammy's in the dumpster.
Oh my god!
Yo. So this is garbage. I think I finally got my rhythm right. And if that's the case, I'm a too sweet myself. Too sweet. Anyway, the This is Garbage segment is basically a segment where we discuss what kind of grinded our gears, what kind of got some grime inside of our kneecaps. And I don't even know if that's a real expression. But for me, I'm going to step outside of the WWE, seeing as of now, I'm still currently employed, and Vince has given me the privilege of going to Japan and, just being an ambassador for the WWE and how great of a company it is. And I'm going to go at New Japan Pro Wrestling. And Japanese, you will pronounce it New Japan Pro Wrestling. And, the reason why is because I'm kind of feeling lackluster about the G1 climax. This is my first G1 tournament. Last year I was able to watch the finals between I believe it was Kota Ibushi versus Tanahashi, and I watched some matches from the G1, but I never had the opportunity to actually watch the full thing. And this year, I'm making it a goal of mine to watch my whole complete first G1 Climax tournament. But when they were releasing the members of the A block and the B block, they came with some fire. They came with Jon Moxley versus I forgot already. It was like Jon Moxley versus was it Okada? If it was, either way, it was some great people in there, and there was some great matchups. But then I was looking at the rest of the people that was a part of the G1 Climax, and I was feeling kind of disappointed. The people I was excited about and expected to be in there is as following: Kazuchika Okada, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Kota Ibushi, Kenta, Will Ospreay, Lance Archer. Well, I'm not really excited about Lance Archer, but I'm glad that he's in there. Zack Sabre Jr., Juice, Tomohiro Ishii, Jon Moxley, of course, and Tetsuya Naito. And I'm kind of on the iffy side about Jay White, but there was also some people. Oh yeah, the Shingo. I'm really starting to feel Shingo as a wrestler, like ever since his match with Will Ospreay. But when I looked at how they left out people like Minoru Suzuki, who hunts my nightmares. This man Suzuki is such a good wrestler and such a good heel that I was so disappointed when they left him out. And I hope they find a way to tie it into some kind of story where Suzuki and all his whole faction, Suzuki Gun, they attack the G1 Climax maybe because they feel they should have more members in there, but that's highly unlikely. But I was disappointed when they left guys out like Suzuki, but put Toru Yano in. And Toru Yano, he's just, from what I know of him, and I'm not a New Japan expert at all, but he's just, a comedy guy. Jeff Cobb. Jeff Cobb is nice and cool. He's not a bad wrestler at all, but it seems like he just does the job for a lot of the wrestlers. So maybe this is my first G1, so maybe they need guys like Jeff Cobb just to get a free pin on. But it's still kind of disappointing because I'm expecting against my first G1 that every match is going to be a 4 out of 5. Who else? Bad Luck File, like, I don't really dislike him as a wrestler, but I was just kind of disappointed in, him being in a G1 over the other members of the Bullet Club and over Minoru Suzuki. So I'm going to have to go ahead and give the L to New Japan Pro Wrestling for the week because I feel like they kind of dropped the ball on some of the smaller people in the G1, and I'm kind of disappointed. There's still going to be some amazing matches. Like I said, I think the one I'm most excited for is Okada versus Jon Moxley. But either way, this is garbage. And my rhythm still sucks. Thank you guys for listening and have a great week. Too sweet. Bye.
We use the word revolution because this is a revolution.
So we're back in our closing segment. So this weekend, there's a Ring of Honor Best in the World pay-per-view. There's also AEW's Fyter Fest. So I would like to ask you, JM and Duke, what are you going to watch?
What's coming out again? I'm sorry.
There's a Ring of Honor Best in the World pay-per-view and then AEW's Fyter Fest.
I'll probably end up watching them both. I've been trying to slowly get back into Ring of Honor, but it's like watching a boring NXT. So if I do watch them, I'm going to be trapping out the bandwidth, as I say, and using some illegitimate means to, just to see if I can glimpse the full product of it. And I apologize because I do want to support you guys, but it's hard out here. I'm taking trips to Japan, so I gotta feed myself on sushi somehow.
Yeah, no. You spent all your show money on them plane tickets.
Yeah, or really just coming up with a grand scheme of how I can hijack Vince McMahon's private jet without him knowing.
Yeah. You had to put gas in that thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, airplane gas is not it's not cheap.
Yeah,
it's almost as expensive as Michigan gas.
That unleaded 87 ain't gonna cut it in there, bro.
Yeah.
Now, on the bright side of things, at least for us in the U.S., we know last year, for Double or Nothing, the U.S. had to pay higher price than overseas. But at Fyter Fest, we kind of get the reversal, where it's free on Breacher Live Report for the United States, but it costs money for the overseas.
So I don't have to trap out the bandwidth?
Nope. You can watch it legitimately.
Oh, yeah. See, I can sleep with a good conscience tonight.
Yeah. So, there's a couple interesting matches in there. The Young Bucks. I think Young Bucks with Kenny Omega.
Yep.
I forgot who they're wrestling. The Lucha Brothers.
Lucha Brothers and Laredo.
Yep. And then you got Moxley versus Joey Janela. So I'll probably check out those couple.
Yeah, I look forward to that.
I'm looking forward to the Adam Page, Jimmy Havoc, and Jungle Boy MJF match. That one's going to be really good.
Yo, Jay, did you catch that MJF interview he did with Busted Open? I think they released it yesterday.
No, I didn't. I got to check that out, man.
Yeah.
Was he in full character the whole time?
He was, but it makes me want to punch him.
I wonder how did Dave LaGreca get along with him? Because who was with him? Was it Bully or Mark Henry? Was Bully?
Yep. See, I feel like if Mark was there, Mark would at least, try to give us some props, but Broly just let him out to hang. Like he let his what's his name?
LaGreca.
He basically let MJF just tombstone power drive him off a ladder.
That don't surprise me. That don't surprise me at all. Not one bit.
So this week, we'll come back next week and we'll give our opinions about Ring of Honor, of course, Raw and SmackDown, and then Fyter Fest as well. So that's a wrap for us this week. Any final comments, JM?
Just everybody that want to watch some exciting wrestling, man, watch that Fyter Fest, watch the ROH joint that's going on, this coming weekend. Hopefully Raw and SmackDown can recover next week. Looking forward to the next pay-per-view, the Elimination Chamber. I will be with you guys for that pay-per-view. Missed this last one, but you know what it is.
Well, we don't expect you to have to travel to Japan to watch it. So.
I got you covered on that. I stole a jet for a reason.
Yes.
Now, what about you, Duke? Any last words?
I just wanted to let you guys know I really appreciate how you guys invited me, but I don't work for free. And there's a million podcasts in the sea that I could be joining, and I've been working for free. And I think it's time for you guys to give me what I want by giving me a $5 million a week contract. What do you say to that?
No, thank you.
Yeah,
no, thank you.
Yeah. No, I don't know about that.
Okay, can we negotiate like $5?
Listen, we might. How about $2.50, and I'll send that over with the Cash App.
Oh, geez. Deal. Shake on it.
Yeah, electronic shake on it.
All right, there we go. Too sweet.
That's right. Too sweet for $2.50.
All right, cool.
And then
I really
you
appreciate
get incentives. Every month you get incentives. We may push that up to $3. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I just appreciate the Fickle Fan Podcast, and they freed me from my contract with the WWE. When I leave Japan in the next 5 minutes, I'm cutting off all my ties. I won't speak positively of the company anymore like Seth Rollins does, but I'm going to just tell the hard, honest truth, because that's what Fickle Fan Podcast is about. And you guys can follow us at WWF_anonymous. And if you want to check your boy Duke out, because he's not active on Twitter at all, you can follow me at Duke, hashtag Fickle Fan Podcast.
That's right, Vince. We bought him out his contract for $10. So we got him now.
Yeah, expect me to do an interview with Yeeski where I'll just body the whole company on how they mistreated me, how I had to go grab coffee for Alexa Bliss every 5 minutes, and I never liked that.
Reading books with Ember Moon.
Yeah, well, that was cool, but I could never read the book because every 5 minutes Alexa Bliss wants her coffee, and Yeeski, I'm sorry, I know she's your favorite, but she's annoying.
Duke! Like, man, can't I just be back here for a moment?
Exactly. Dang, man. I'm trying to read Harry Potter, the Sacred Stone.
Oh man.
Well, Duke, have a safe flight back to the States.
Yeah, man. Be careful, man. Fly that jet right. Okay.
Yeah. I never flew a plane at night, but I played enough video games to make it work.
Okay. All you need is Flight Simulator.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be a wrap for us tonight. Thank you for listening. If you want to follow us, it's WWF_anonymous. I believe so. Since JM's not correcting me, that would be correct.
That is correct. WWF_anonymous. And like you said, if you need help spelling anonymous, pick up a dictionary.
So it's a wrap from us. This is Yeeski.
JM in the building.
And your boy Duke.
Peace.
Fickle.